How you doing today?
Hi,
Hi.
for you.
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you so much. We are so honored to have you on with us today because what a special movie. And I know that people are just gonna absolutely love this one. And it's kind of amazing timing for something like this to come out, right? I know this made a little bit ago and went through some changes, but it's more relevant than ever, which is crazy, right?
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah,
Yeah.
we agree. I think we felt that making it.
Yeah. And it's such a universal story as well. Like it's just a really important story that has to be told.
Absolutely. And when you were working on this, I know that's kind of you have to put yourself in a different time frame, but you must have been thinking about kind of the parallels of today, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Totally. I mean, there's you can pull parallels to it, and it's a sad reality, and but it's just also a story that is um really inspiring, and it's trying to spread light and trying to make the world a better place, to be honest.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the world is a scary place right now, and we have access to so much information, online, so that we can see what's going on around the world, which is a good thing because it means that we the truth is out there,
Yeah.
and yet there is so much misinformation and deliberate disinformation, and so I think part of what makes this story so important is to remember to hold on to the truth and to speak the truth and to stand up when you see injustice, when you see disinformation, when you see lies being spread. It's just we all have to hang on to truth and to be always seeking the truth and to always looking under what we might be being told, and then also to stand up for other people. We've talked about this, that
Mm.
there's one thing to stand up for yourself and stand up for what you believe in, but the other, the really amazing thing about Helmut, Ewan's character, is that he stood up and went to his death for other people, not himself. And that's just
Yeah.
unbelievable, to stand up for other people who cannot fight for themselves and who are being oppressed. And that is happening, sadly, all over the world. People being persecuted, people being oppressed in regimes all over the world. And so, that's what we took from it, that
Yeah, and
inspiration.
yeah, and he's just such a inspiring kind of individual, and he's 16 years old as well. So it's for me, it's just we should all try and take a page out of his book and try and make the world a better place in that regard.
Hmm.
hmm Well, and despite kind of the hard subject matter and just the the darkness around the sets, it looked like it was actually pretty fun to make, right?
I don't, it sounds terrible, but we had such a joyous
I
time.
bet,
And I
yeah.
think, yeah, it is, there is such darkness in the story, that time period, and what the Nazis did to people who they didn't agree with. But I think because we felt the story was so strong, and the producers put together a cast that were just all wonderful people. We all
So
just
beautiful. Yeah,
and
yeah,
we
yeah.
all felt, we had such conviction with the story that we wanted to tell, and so we all felt so committed. But yeah, we had an absolutely brilliant
Yeah,
time in
yeah.
Lithuania.
Lots of giggles in between the dark scenes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I know that a lot of people will look up to what both of you are doing and think, see, that's what I want to do. But so much harder than you can imagine. What kind of advice would each of you give to somebody that wants to follow in your footsteps?
Wow.
God.
Well, I'm not in a place to even talk about it. I'm 23. I haven't got any advice to give. I'm sorry. I'm still figuring out.
Yeah, I'm a lot older, and I sadly, and I need to stop saying this, but I would say, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, just because it's a really hard profession. The business is hard,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
when you do get to do it, when you do get to, it's just so competitive. But when you do get to do it, and you do are given a role that is in a story that means something, it is so profoundly uh soul enriching,
Yeah,
and it
yeah.
feels like validating. I feel like whenever I play a role like this that really means something to me, it makes all the unemployment and all the rejection that we have to
Wait.
deal with as actors, and the waiting around in between jobs, it makes it all worth it, quite
Mm.
frankly.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think if anyone is a true storyteller, like I think all you know, that most of us are that are in this profession, you go for it and you go for it and you put everything into it.
Yeah, it's also just really fun as well.
Yeah,
Like it's
so
the best job
we're
in the
so
world.
lucky.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
We're so
yeah.
lucky.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's true. Well, part of that is that mindset that you have to put yourself in, not only right before doing these scenes, but just in general. So, what do each of you tell yourself that kind of keeps you on the right path, that always when you're doing this?
Oof.
You mean in general as in a
Yeah.
career or in a, yeah.
In the career, and also when it's go time on the set too. Is there
Hmm.
some kind of ritual you go through, or something you say to yourself, or anything like that?
I think it probably depends. I think it's very different. It's subjective and it's different from project to
Yeah.
project, right? You know, every story is very different, and you know, you could be doing a comedy, or you could be doing a fun horror film, or you know, there's lots of
Yeah.
you know, it's so broad. But with a project like this, and I know you, and I think you definitely did as well. We've just felt the importance of this story so much, and when we're telling the story of real people who existed, and this was their lives, there's a weight to that you carry, and that you have to do them justice, and you feel so honored to be telling the story of incredible people, that I just felt very strongly that I had to honor Emma, my character. And I think we all felt like that. We felt a big attachment to these characters, and we had to honor what they went through.
Yeah, and also like, you go on set every day and you'd be talking. For example, we had a situation where, a family member of Carl called up, one of the producers on set, and we spoke to them, a 90-year-old man called Werner, who came to the premiere actually the other
Yeah.
night, and like just that he was talking about Helmut, like as if we were on set, it really grounds you and creates reality to it.
Yeah.
And there were so many times where I was, in scenes where, not necessarily nice scenes, I'd be like, wow, this kid really actually went through this. I don't know if I can talk about it.
It's harrowing.
The
Yeah.
spoiler, the
Yes.
last
Yeah.
moments I can talk about.
Yeah, sure.
The execution chamber.
Yes.
Oh my
I remember
gosh.
that scene going into the room because it was like meter by meter the exact measurements of how it actually was.
Oh, wow.
And I remember looking at it and going, I don't want to get in that. And I also didn't know if we needed to shoot that out. Like, I remember having a debate with Matt, the director on set. I was like, I don't know if we actually need this. It's really harrowing, and my body's saying no, don't do it.
Really?
But that's exactly what it would be doing.
Yeah, exactly.
So and he's obviously looking, we need to shoot it, and we can, if you don't want it, we can always cut it, but it stays in the film. And I'm so glad we actually did do it because it just gets you.
Yeah,
It's
and
a horrible
and I
moment.
think we can't, when you tell stories like this, we can't shy away from the truth.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah,
kind of
yeah,
the point,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
We
yeah,
can't
absolutely.
kind of gloss over the nasty bits. Like we have to show them for people to realize the gravity of
Yeah.
what he went through.
Absolutely, and also because like we've been doing it for 3 months. At that point, that was the end of the shoot as well. So I had become attached to him and how he felt. So to get to that point, I know exactly how he felt, and it's really harrowing. It's not a nice feeling. So I don't recommend anyone gets themselves in that situation.
Yeah, it's so brutal. It was so brutal, but so powerful.
Yeah.
I think it was the right decision to put that in.
Absolutely, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, we talk about that on the show. My co-host is Drew Pearson, one of our great Dallas Cowboys. Caught the Hail Mary, went in the Hall of Fame. We talk about this Hail Mary moment, the moment in your life or career where you just kind of have to go for it. It's kind of one of those moments when you have to do this, right?
Definitely.
I mean, Ewan is young at the beginning of his
Yeah.
career. I cannot believe what the we talk about Helmut's courage and conviction, but it takes a lot of courage to and it takes a lot of depth to play the scenes that he played, and to play and to play a character with such complexity and depth to himself. But you have that to bring to it, which is it is so impressive at Ewan's age to be doing that when you've only been acting
Yeah, for a few
for a
years.
few
Yeah,
years.
yeah, yeah.
That is
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah, but also like, all these complexities as well were real, and that's a 16-year-old boy did that.
Yeah.
So you just have to try and honor that, and you have to understand that as well. Like it's a really hard thing that's the main thing that was going through my head as a 16-year-old boy did this. That's what kept me kind of like, whoa, okay,
If he
you
did
would have to
that,
get through
we
this.
can do that.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I know it's an important one for people to see on the big screen, so we're going to encourage them to do it. So, last thing, what do you hope that people will discuss after this? Because there's so much to talk about after this, right?
Yeah.
or
Mm,
take
mm.
away.
I would say that for me, I can only speak on behalf of myself of how I felt when I read it and did it and have seen it now. Um, Audiences will take what they want, but I feel inspired personally, and the film has changed me as a person. Like it's really inspired me, and I feel it gives a sense of hope. And there's a lot of darkness in the world, and we should try and do our bit and try and make a difference and stand up for those who can't
Mm.
use their voice, and speak for themselves. And it's just a really beautiful message, and that's for me is what's really important. And I hope people can feel and figure it
Inspired.
out and be inspired. Yeah.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it comes down to humanity, that
Yeah.
it's that we have to remember we're being fed a lot of information, and we're being told to think in certain ways. And there's a lot of kind of forces pulling people in lots of different directions, and it's dividing us, and it's polarizing us, and it's skewing our perspectives on others, people who are different to ourselves. And I think that fundamentally this story makes me realize we have to hang on to our common humanity so strongly in these times, and we have to remember we are all human beings, and we have to hold on to each other, like the boys, like Helmut and his friends, that
Yeah.
connection between that brotherhood and that bond that they had, because we are human beings, and that is how we operate. And we have to stay strong together and fight for each other, and not turn on one another.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, beautifully said. Well, thank you both so much for making this movie, and we're gonna tell everyone to check it out, and look forward to talking to both of you again soon.
Thank you
Absolutely.
so
Thank you so much.
much.
Thank
Lovely
you so
speaking
Thank
to
much.
you.
I really
you.
appreciate you. All right.